Hello students, welcome to Sacred Heart High School. Today we are going to study in Science-2 Chapter 16 Heredity and Variation Part 3. Diseases or disorders occurring due to abnormalities in chromosomes and mutations in genes are called genetic disorders. Chromosomal abnormalities, including either increase or decrease in numbers and deletion or translocation of any part of the chromosome. Examples are physical disorders like cleft lip, albinism, and physiological disorders like sickle cell anemia, hemophilia, etc. Now, as we know, human beings have 46 chromosomes in the form of 23 pairs. There is a great variation in the size and shape of these chromosomal pairs. These pairs have been numbered. Out of 23 pairs, 22 pairs are autosomes and 1 pair is of sex chromosome. Now, chromosomes in women are represented as 44 plus XX and in men as 44 plus XY. Mendel has shown in his experiments that there exist two types of genes, dominant and recessive, as we have seen in part 2 in monohybrid and dihybrid cross. If we take into account the number of chromosomes in human cells, their sex-related types, the type of genes on the chromosomes, dominant and recessive, we can see whether genetic disorders originate and how they are inherited. Now we shall see disorders due to chromosomal abnormalities. Following are the disorders that occur due to numerical changes in chromosomes. Offsprings are not sterile if there is change in the number of autosome is less. Instead, if there is an increase in number of any autosomal pair, physical or mental abnormalities arise and the lifespan is shortened with a shortened lifespan. Let's see some of them disorders. The first disorder is called Down syndrome. Now, Down syndrome is a disorder arising due to chromosomal abnormality. This is the first discovered and described chromosomal disorder in human beings. This order is characterized by the presence of 47 chromosomes, as you can see in the chart. It is described as trisomy of the 21st chromosomes. You can see in the 21st number of chromosomes, you can see instead of 2 there are 3 in number. So therefore they have 47 chromosomes instead of 46. Children suffering from Down syndrome are usually mentally retarded and have a short lifespan. Mental retardation is the most prominent characteristics. Now other symptoms are like abnormal teeth, slanted eyes, shortened hands, short neck, narrow roof of mouth, flat head, bent fifth fingertips, abnormal outer ears, flattened nose, separation of first and second toes, congenital heart disease, proportionally large tongue, that is protruding tongue, scanty hair, single horizontal crease on palm, and a life expectancy of about 16 to 20 years. Now we shall see the second type of syndrome, which is called as Turner syndrome, or it's also called as monosomy of X chromosome. As with autosomes, abnormalities in sex chromosomes also cause some disorders. So this syndrome is related with the sex chromosome. Now Turner syndrome, or it is also called as 44 plus X, arises due to either inheritance of only one chromosome from parents or due to inactivation of the gender-related part of X chromosome. Instead of normal 44 plus XX condition, women suffering from Turner syndrome show a 44 plus X condition. Now as you can see in the sex chromosome, you can see only one chromosome instead of two chromosomes. Such women are sterile, that is, they are unable to have children due to improper growth of the reproductive organs. though the symptoms seen in children are they have swollen hand, short stature, a high palate, low set ears, obesity, droopy eyelids, flat feet, spinal curvature, heart defects, infertility, problems in sexual development, hearing loss, high blood pressure, and dry eyes, etc. Now we shall see the third type of syndrome. Now due to this arises in men, that is, this type of disorder arises in men due to abnormalities in sex chromosome. In this disorder, men have one extra X chromosome, as you can see, XXY. Hence, the chromosomal condition become 44 plus XXY. Such men are sexually sterile because their reproductive organs are not well developed. So you can see in the chart, instead of XY, it has one extra X chromosome. Diseases occurring due to mutation in single gene. Diseases or disorders which occur due to mutation in any single gene into a defective one are called monogenic disorders. Approximately 4,000 different disorders of this type are now known. Due to abnormal genes, their products are either produced in insufficient quantity or not at all. It causes abnormal metabolism that may lead to death at a tender age. Examples of such disorders are Hutchinson's disease, Tay-Sachs disease, galactosemia, phenylketonuria, sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, albinism, hemophilia, night blindness, etc. Now we shall say the first disorder, that is albinism. Now this is a genetic disorder. Our eyes, skin and hair have color due to the brown pigment called melanin. But in this disease, the body cannot produce melanin. The skin becomes pale, hairs are white and eyes are usually pink due to the absence of melanin pigment in the retina and sclera. Even minor changes in molecular structure of proteins and DNA may lead to disease or disorders. For instance, normal hemoglobin has glutamic acid as the sixth amino acid in its molecular structure. However, if it is replaced by valine, the shape or structure of the hemoglobin molecule changes. Due to this, the erythrocytes or red blood corpuscles or RBC, which are normally biconcave, become sickle cell shaped. Now this condition is called as sickle cell anemia. The oxygen carrying capacity of hemoglobin in such individuals is very low. In this condition, clumping and thereby destruction of erythrocytes occurs most often. As a result, blood vessels are obstructed and the circulatory system, brain, lungs, kidneys, etc. are damaged. Sickle cell anemia is a hereditary disease. It occurs due to changes in genes during conception. If the father and mother are both affected by sickle cell anemia, or if they are carriers of this disorder, their offspring are likely to suffer from this disease. Hence, marriages between the persons who are carriers of or suffering from sickle cell anemia should be avoided. Now, there are two types of persons affected by sickle cell anemia. The first type is sickle cell anemia carrier. The second type is sufferers from sickle cell anemia. Now, the symptoms usually are swelling of hands and legs, pain in joints, severe general body aches, frequent colds and cough, constant low-grade fever, exhaustion, pale face, low hemoglobin content. Now there are remedies. This disease is spread only one way, that is reproduction. Hence, husband and wife should get their blood examined either before marriage or after it. A carrier or sufferer should avoid marriage with another carrier or sufferer, and a person suffering from sickle cell anemia should take a tablet of folic acid daily. Mitochondrial DNA may also become defective due to mutation. During fertilization, mitochondria contributed by the egg cell, that is ovum alone. Hence, mitochondrial disorders are inherited from the mother only. Leber hereditary optic neuropathy is an example of a mitochondrial disorder. Next, we shall see disorders due to mutations in multiple genes, or it's also called as polygenic disorders. Sometimes disorders arise due to mutations in more than one gene. In most such disorders, their severity increases due to effects of environmental factors on the fetus. Common examples of such disorders are cleft lip, cleft palate, constricted stomach, spina bifida, a defect of the spinal cord, etc. Besides diabetes, blood pressure, heart disorders, asthma, obesity are also polygenic disorders. Polygenic disorders do not strictly follow Mendel's principles of heredity. These disorders arise from a complex interaction between environment, lifestyle, and defects in several genes. Next, we shall see interrelationship between tobacco addiction and cancer. Many people consume tobacco either by smoking or by chewing. Consumption of tobacco in any form can cause cancer. Smoking of cigarettes and bidi adversely affects the process of digestion. It causes a burning sensation in the throat and a cough. Excessive smoking causes instability and trembling of fingers. A dry cough causes sleeplessness. Tobacco consumption can also lead to shortening of lifespan, chronic bronchitis, pericarditis, cancer of the lungs, mouth, larynx, pharynx, pancreas, urinary bladder, etc. Harmful effects of smoking are due to the nicotine present in tobacco. It affects the central and peripheral nervous system. Arteries become hard, that is, it causes arteriosclerosis and hypertension. Tobacco smoke contains harmful chemicals like pyridine, ammonia, aldehyde, furfural, carbon monoxide, nicotine, sulfur dioxide, etc. They cause uncontrolled cell division. Tobacco smoke is full of minute carbon particles which cause normal tissue of the lung to transform into thickened black tissue. This causes cancer. While chewing tobacco or tobacco products, much of the extract is absorbed into the body. Excessive tobacco consumption may cause cancer of lips or tongue, visual disorders, or tremors. To protect one's body from cancer, one must avoid smoking and consumption of tobacco and tobacco products in any form. So children, you have understood the topic. Thank you.